Hi there, I just want to make a quick video on how I got my stuck exhaust silencer or baffle out of my exhaust. The exhaust silencer that I got with my Triumph unfortunately was not made to tolerance for my exhaust, and I put it in with a little bit of force and realized it wasn't going to come out again any too easy. So I tried all manner of things, as you can see, having a close look there, from using pliers to trying to cut it, to pull it out. I had no success. All that happened when I tried to tap it was it just went ever further in until it almost went all the way in, until I then figured out how to do it. I also just want to point out one other thing, and that is I can't guarantee you that there is a better way of doing this. There probably is. This worked for me. Also, what you need to be aware of is there are 101 ways this could possibly go wrong for you. So you need to be aware of that. It may damage your bike, or you may damage you. Good luck. But this worked okay for me. So here's what you'll need. I used some parachute cord, folded over double, and thread through some nuts, which when placed side by side are just ever so slightly larger than the diameter of the baffle. I also used a stick for pulling the parachute cord, a long-handled screwdriver, which helped me just to ensure that the nuts were placed correctly at the end of the baffle and had a good grip. Also a can of lubricant here with an extension, and a drinking straw that could curve, so I could spray on the inside, on the outside from within of the baffle. What I ended up doing was getting a number of nuts, the diameter of which, when put side by side, was just slightly greater than the baffle for my exhaust. And I also put that washer in there. I found the washer just helped them to bunch up, like as you see there. So what you do is you put them on some cord or whatever you have. This is some parachute cord. I used 2 strands in case it cut. I did not want to lose these inside my exhaust and have a separate problem on my hands. So what you do is you simply lower them down into the exhaust as carefully as you can, like so. Now at this point in time I find the long flat-bladed screwdriver is perfect just for poking it down as far as you can, and then you give them a jiggle till they're in place and they'll catch at some point. Okay, so now the nuts are in place as such that I can pull them back out again, and they'll be pulling just on the they've gone down in and out the other end of the baffle, and they're now catching as I try to pull them out just on the edges of the baffle. You don't want to jam up the exhaust, otherwise you'll just be probably scraping at your exhaust and won't achieve anything. I've also put a knot here to create like a bit of a loop, okay, and I have a stick just to help for a bit of mechanical advantage of sorts, okay, and you're going to use that to pull out the string with the nuts on it, and basically you're going to be pulling the baffle from the inside out. So if you're pushing it from the rear, from the inside, like so. Now, before you do that, you want to lube up all around the edge of where the baffle is stuck. You can see, I've done all sorts of things trying to get out other ways and failed. So you want to lube up all around that where the pipes are, and you might need to do this a number of times. The other thing to consider is if it's stuck quite firmly, you'll need someone to hold and pull in the other direction carefully at some point on the handlebars. I had my wife help me with this. Now, the way I did it was I grabbed the wooden handle, I pulled it straight out from the pipe, and what I did was I turned around. So you can see here, hopefully, what I did was I faced away from the exhaust because I figured this parachute cord is actually slightly elastic, and I was also able to get better mechanical advantage leaning and facing away and pushing out like this. Now, it took quite a few goes, quite a lot of lube. One thing I did which may have helped, and you can try too, is to lube it from the inside. Attempt to get lubricant from the rear of the baffle, I put this little straw on my can of lubricant. I then used a drinking straw, which I attached the end of it, and put it into the baffle, and using this bendy drinking straw, sprayed it back up in this direction to try and lube up from that side, I guess, of the ogive. I don't know if it helped, but after I did that, I was able to get out in one move. It may have just been the break point though. So now, as you can see, my lovely Triumph Street Triple 675 2013 with the Arrow exhaust no longer has that ridiculous baffle. I don't know if I'll ever get around to putting it back in again. I just did it because I thought it might be simple. It definitely wasn't. It took a lot of time. But that method that I described there was by far and away the most successful method. I'd just like to advise you once again that I really can't guarantee that what you do won't damage your bike in some form or yourself. Be careful that you don't end up with something flying in your direction as you pull on it, and be careful so that you don't cause any unnecessary damage. If you're really not sure, I think you should go and see a mechanic, and most importantly, you can never use enough lube. Good luck!